Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. We're reading from chapter 36 of the Jaiva Dharma. The subject matter is Madhurya Rasa, and the specific subject matter is Sthayi Bhava. And the Sthayi Bhava means the natural inclination to serve in a particular way that's within each and everyone's heart. That's called our Sthayi Bhava. That's what we want to awaken within us, to realize what is our natural relationship with Krishna. When we understand our relationship with Krishna, that one that is actually natural to us, then we will try to follow in the footsteps of those who emulate that. The gopis of Braj, the cowherd boys, like this. So, it was a suitable time when Vijay Kumar came, and he offered his respects to Gopal Guru Goswami. Seeing him very eager to know about the Sthayi Bhava, Goswami began to speak. Goswami said, Madhurya Rati is the Sthayi Bhava of Madhurya Rasa. In other words, when one has the nature of serving Krishna in the mood of a gopi of Vrindavan, that is called Madhurya Rasa. And the Madhurya Rati is the Sthayi Bhava, the natural inclination for those who are in that mood. So Vijay Kumar asks, what is the cause of that Madhurya Rati? Goswami says, in order of greater strength, Rati arises from the manifestation of love. It is awakened from sense objects, from qualities in the object of love, from one's possessiveness, from dear objects of the beloved, from objects having some similarity to the beloved, and from nature itself. Rati arising from Swabhav is the best of all, out of one's natural inclination. The Abhiyog means expressing one's emotions, oneself, or conveying them through another person, while the Vishaya are the 5 sense objects, such as sound, touch, form, taste, and fragrance. All of these can stimulate our natural our natural Sthayi Bhava, our natural inclination of service and love towards Krishna. Vijay says, what is the Sambandha? Sambandha refers to excellence of the aggregate of a noble family, beautiful form, good qualities, and pastimes. Sambandha technically means the relationship with. So, naturally one has a particular form, a particular nature, a particular family, in which one lives in the eternal Braj. And then what is Abhimana? And Goswami says that is a conviction within our heart. As a practitioner, we have to have a conviction. That conviction manifests like, I desire only that object, without any regard for any other pleasant objects. That is called Abhimana. In other words, I desire Krishna and nothing else. Dear objects, which will include his footprints, cow pastures, and associates. Goshta refers to the pastures of Vrindavan. Associates refer to persons who are also overcome with the deepest love. These also act as stimuli, and we want the association of these things. That's why people want to live in Vrindavan. Because everything is there. One can see, oh, here's Krishna's footprint in the stone where it melted. Here are the cow pastures where Krishna used to herd the cows, like this. What is the upmana? That is when an object has some similarity to another, that it brings about a remembrance. It's not directly related, but somehow brings about a remembrance. What is the swabhav? That which does not depend on external causes, but appears on its own. That is, it comes from within. It doesn't require any stimuli from any outside, but it's always there within us. That is the Bhava, the natural. Swa means the natural nature within the heart. There are two types of Bhava, Nisarga and Swarup. Then what is the Nisarga? That is an impression created by firm practice. That is, one creates a mental impression by constant meditation upon the object of one's love, chanting his name, hearing his pastimes, and so forth. That becomes fixed within our consciousness. That is an impression that remains there. Hearing about the qualities and the form of the Lord. After many births, Ratyabhas becomes very strong. That is, with continual practice, life after life, this becomes very strong within the mind and heart of the devotee. The impression that is there is called the Nisarga. When Rati arises suddenly by hearing about Krishna's form and qualities, the hearing is not the real cause. Sometimes we find that we're naturally attracted to Krishna. Something, we're hearing kirtan. But it's not exactly what we're hearing. It's that is awakened within our heart. That which awakens within our heart. And that's because of practice, continual practice, even from previous lifetimes. What is the Swarup? That Bhav which is eternally self-accomplished, without any apparent cause. That is called the Swarup. There are three forms: Krishna Nishta, being fixed in Krishna, Lalana Nishta, and Ubhaya Nishta. Krishna Nishta Swarup, spontaneous recognition of Krishna. It's like one may be a child or something, and then one brings a form of Krishna or a picture of Krishna, something. We can see that awakening of consciousness takes place because of a previous, not just because it's a nice painting or something, but there's something there that is awakened within us because of previous practice, because of the previous impressions within our heart. This is easily attainable by practice. The demons, of course, cannot attain this. The second form is called recognition of oneself as a gopi, Lalana Nishta. This also occurs spontaneously, an awakening of our relationship with Krishna. We see Krishna and then we somehow or other awaken that realization that we are a gopi, a Braj. We serve under Lalita Devi or this or that, like that. So that is also spontaneously awakens. And this, of course, quickly produces strong rati for Krishna alone. Strong, deep attachment for Krishna. Although he has not been seen or heard of, somehow or other, that awakens within us our natural love for Krishna. Realization of both Krishna and one's form as a gopi simultaneously is called Ubhaya Nishta. So there's the awakening upon seeing something like a form of Krishna. There is somehow awakening within our heart that we're gopi or have a relationship with Krishna, even if we don't have that understanding who is Krishna yet. Some people can awaken in that state. They haven't even seen a picture of Krishna, of course. Some may hear about him or something like that, but something awakens that. Then there's that where simultaneously happens. One sees Krishna, form of Krishna, hears something about Krishna, and there's an awakening of one's relationship with Krishna. Can you give a few examples so it will be easy for us to understand? Goswami says, this Madhurya Rati arises in Raganuga Bhakti. This Rati will not arise from Vaidhi Bhakti until it becomes full of Bhav. In other words, Vaidhi Bhakti is going through the motions. We are told by the spiritual master to do so many things. Hear the Bhagavatam regularly, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so many things. But we do it in our natural obligation to Guru. He has asked us to do, we're doing. But the actual bhav has not awakened within our heart. It is more of a dutiful application of the instructions of the Guru. Do like this, do like that. Don't do this, don't do that. So that's Vaidhi Bhakti is governed under rules and regulations. Chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regular principles. This is all under Vaidhi Bhakti, rules and regulations. And that is meant to ultimately create an impression within the mind. We do it again and again and again and again. Sometimes I give it as a comparison, like someone learning a musical instrument. You practice again. In the beginning, you're practicing your scales. You're dutifully engaged in the practice of learning that instrument. You do it again and again. You practice. But you do not have the ability yet to express yourself through that instrument. It's kind of like rote. Someone says, and you repeat A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. The teacher says, A, apple, B, banana, B, like that. So it's all rote. So we practice, but there's not yet the proficiency to express oneself through that instrument. But as one matures through his practice, then all of a sudden he can play a little riff on his own or do this or do that. And he's learning how to express himself through that. So that's kind of like the awakening of Bhav. We were practicing, but all of a sudden we feel a spontaneous attraction to Krishna and we want to do something. The pujaris always have good opportunity because they see Krishna and they want to put this here and put that. There's some kind of bhav there with the deity. How to have Krishna look nicely, how to have Radharani look nicely like that. So there's some bhav. Or even the awakening of service. I want to serve Krishna by washing the dishes in the kitchen. That's an inclination to serve Krishna somehow or other. So in this way, although Vaidhi Bhakti has no awakening of bhav yet, it will eventually stimulate that bhav. It's like rubbing 2 sticks together. It's getting warmer. Then fire comes. Gradually, the awakening of bhav is there within our hearts. Those who have greed on seeing gopis' bhav and actions in serving Krishna gradually attain rati. So, the awakening takes place by a greed that begins to awaken within our heart, lolyam, a desire, an intense desire. I want to serve Krishna, and I want to serve Krishna in this particular way. Oh, I love Krishna as he interacts, his loving exchanges with the gopis, or how he is playful with the cowherd boys, or how Mother Jashoda and the elders relate to Krishna. I like that. So we'll find ourselves attracted to one of these different types of moods. Then, when the devotee becomes sadhana siddha, awakens through his sadhana, his spiritual perfection, a recognition of oneself as a gopi appears. So this is on the level of Raganuga Bhakti, awakening the recognition of oneself as a gopi in relationship with Krishna. What are the types of Madhurya Rati? There are 3 types: Sadhana Rani, Samanjasa, and Samartha. There are some examples. Kubja, for instance. She has Sadharani. That is called common. It is based on the desire for one's own amorous pleasure. So Kubja has awakened some love for Krishna. We know this story from the Srimad Bhagavatam. But she's not on the pure level of the gopis who are willing to sacrifice everything for Krishna, even their own attempts for pleasure. They're only seeking Krishna's pleasure. But Kubja has a self-desire there. she wants to enjoy. She wants to enjoy, but with Krishna. So that is one type of relationship, the desire to enjoy, but with Krishna. The gopis don't want to enjoy, they want to have Krishna enjoy. They want to serve Krishna, and it may look similar, but the mood is different. Then there are the queens of Dwarka, Samanjasa. Since they get married, according to the rules of marriage regarding Dharma, they love Krishna, they have a relationship with Krishna, but it's in accordance with married love, the rules and regulations and everything like that is required by society. Society creates various rules and regulations that mankind follows and accepts. Okay, every young girl should get married, and this arrangement is made, and like that. So they're married to Krishna. But their relationship, although lovingly seen, is also quite different than the gopis. So the first kind is kubja. The second kind is called is found in the queens of Dwarka, Samanjasa. It is called proper. So then we find the gopis. The gopis' rati is samartha. It surpasses the rules of society and dharma. They don't care about following the rules of society. They break dharma, the rules of dharma, because Krishna is everything for them. Samartha, therefore, is considered the strongest of rati. It is most proper from the highest spiritual perspective. Sadha Rani Rati is like a jewel. Samanjasa Rati is like a chintamani. Greater. And then Samartha Rati is like the kastuba, the most rare of jewels within the world. And this is what is found within the gopis of Braj. So Kubja, she has a relationship with Krishna. The queens of Dwarka, they have a relationship with Krishna. All based in the conjugal sense. But the gopis, they will transgress the rules of marriage and dharma and all of that simply to be with Krishna. Oh, Vijay Kumar weeping said, what amazing topics. Please go on and on. Goswami said, that rati, which is not too deep, and generally takes place on seeing Krishna directly, which is motivated by the desire for one's own amorous pleasure, is called Sadharani Rati. Because that rati is not deep, the desire for enjoyment is there. In the deepest sense, you won't see that. You'll see every attempt for Krishna's pleasure. So there is some desire in the beginning, like we see in Kubja. When this desire for enjoyment decreases, the rati also decreases. In other words, it is stimulated at a certain point and maybe not again, or later. It is not constant, in other words. Like in Kubja, it's not constant. In the gopis, it's constant and ever increasing. What is Samanjasa Rati? It is rati arising from hearing about Krishna's qualities and form and identifying oneself as his wife. Sometimes showing a distinct desire for enjoyment, a desire to be with Krishna. Just like any man and woman in a marriage relationship, they may show the desire for being with them at their partner at a particular time. So this is seen also within the queens of Dwarka. They sometimes show a distinct desire for enjoyment. When the desire for enjoyment becomes visible in Samanjasa, It is difficult to bring Krishna under their control. In other words, Krishna is also his own person. He's not really so much attracted by that. Krishna's desire is not to please the wife, but for the wife or the lover to please him. I mean, that's the real situation. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And when the desire to please Krishna in the strongest possible way is seen, we see the greatest development of true prem or love. Goswami says, desire for enjoyment is present in any Madhurya Rati. In Sadharani and Samanjasi Rati, the desire enjoyment is for the self. When the desire for enjoyment becomes one with itself after attaining a special nature in which the desire for enjoyment is not for oneself, that rati is called samartha rati. That is, we exist to please Krishna. We'll dress to please Krishna. We'll speak words to please, whatever we can do to please Krishna. That is the desire, not to dress to tempt Krishna to come with us. No, we're wanting to please Krishna. That is the highest state, and that is the mood of the gopis. We're analyzing at this section of the Jaiva Dharma the different moods of conjugal love. What is this special nature, says Vijay? There are two types of enjoyment. Attaining happiness of one's own senses through the beloved, and giving happiness to the senses of the beloved by oneself. In other words, in an exchange, giving pleasure, accepting pleasure. But that is a type of calm with desire for one's own enjoyment. But the second type of rati is called premanmukhi, with the desire to benefit the beloved. In Sadharani rati, the first desire is strong. Samanjasa rati is not so strong. In Samartha rati, there is a special quality in the desire to enjoy. That is, the desire to benefit the beloved. Naturally, there'll be some enjoyment being with Krishna. But the desire is not for that. The desire is to please Krishna. Enjoying oneself from that relationship is secondary. That will come. That is not what's in the mind. What's in the mind is pleasing Krishna. Vijay Kumar asks, during enjoyment, there must be happiness from the touch of the beloved. Does the desire for happiness exist in Samartha Rati? Goswami says, though that desire is difficult to suppress because of its strength, the desire becomes very weak in the heart of the person in Samartha Rati. In other words, it becomes secondary. Because of its special nature, Rati, when it becomes strong, it covers the desire for enjoyment. It becomes strong with the desire of giving pleasure, not receiving pleasure. That rati becomes one with the desire for enjoyment. In other words, they amalgamate like that. The rati is called samartha rati since it is capable of overcoming all else. The strength of one's love to please the beloved is that which motivates the hearts of the gopis. Oh, what is the special glory of the Samartha Rati? Arising from the Lananishta Sarup, or slight connection with anything related to Krishna, the Sambandha. There is only the desire for Krishna's happiness. One's own happiness and enjoyment is accepted as favorable for Krishna's happiness. The desire for enjoyment and the rati for making Krishna happy assumes an astonishing beauty with waves of astonishing pastimes. It does not let the desire for enjoyment exist separately. That is, it may be there, of course it's there, that one will feel some enjoyment. But that is not the motivating factor. Therefore, it does not let the desire for enjoyment exist separately. It is amalgamated automatically with the desire to please Krishna. Oh, what an astonishing rati, says Vijay Kumar. Oh, I desire to hear of its highest glory. Samartha rati, when it becomes deep, becomes the state of Mahabhav. Mahabhav. There's Bhav, but this is the state of Mahabhav, which is found in Srimati Radharani alone, which is sought by liberated souls and the best of devotees. They may attain it according to their capability. Oh, Prabhu, I want to know more of these stages of rati. So we're going to stop at this point, and we'll have a part 2, which we will continue in the same chapter here next time we pick up the book. Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam.